Have you ever imagined what happens when the highest standard of global pop meets the most critical eyes in Hollywood's entertainment industry? 9 major American icons witnessed BTS's latest tour preparations firsthand, and their reactions redefined the line between admiration and disbelief. Is this the new benchmark in history? Number 9. The technical breakdown, Jennifer Lopez. When it comes to judging a dance performance, few people in the American entertainment industry hold as much choreographic authority as Jennifer Lopez. With decades of experience as a professional dancer, a Super Bowl halftime headliner, and a longtime judge on World of Dance, Lopez views movement through a highly technical, uncompromising lens. When shown the exclusive footage of BTS's latest, highly complex choreography prepared for their upcoming United States tour, her reaction was rooted entirely in the mechanics of dance. Lopez immediately zeroed in on the group's synchronization, a trademark of BTS that has historically set them apart in the global pop landscape. What people don't understand is the sheer physics of what they are doing, Lopez noted while analyzing the playback. She pointed out that maintaining identical angles of execution across 7 different bodies, all varying in height and physical build, requires an extraordinary amount of core strength, muscle memory, and spatial awareness. The choreography features rapid level changes, shifting from explosive, high-energy leaps to grounded, floor-based footwork in fractions of a second. Lopez highlighted a specific sequence in the bridge of the unreleased track, where the members execute a synchronized, multi-layered formation change while maintaining a blistering tempo. She remarked that in Western pop music, staging often relies heavily on background dancers to create scale, while the lead artists focus primarily on vocals or simpler movements. BTS, however, acts as their own dance troupe, executing formations that require precision down to the exact millimeter. If one person is off by 2 inches, the entire visual illusion collapses, she explained. Lopez also praised their use of isolation techniques, the ability to move one specific part of the body, such as the rib cage or the wrists, completely independent of the rest of the frame, which she noted is incredibly difficult to execute cleanly when performing en masse. Her professional assessment stripped away the usual pop cultural hype, focusing purely on the grueling athletic reality of their preparation, proving that beneath the stadium lights lies a masterclass in modern dance geometry that left even Hollywood's toughest dance critic thoroughly stunned. How will the next industry icon handle the sheer sonic scale of this performance? Number 8. The creative evolution, Usher. To capture the attention of a pioneer who fundamentally shaped the landscape of modern R&B and pop dance, choreography must transcend mere physical execution and possess authentic cultural soul. Having collaborated closely with Jung Kook on the Standing Next to You remix, Usher approached the exclusive preview of BTS's choreography for the massive Arirang World Tour with a deep familiarity of their work ethic, yet what he witnessed in their latest staging left him analyzing their evolution from a completely new perspective. Looking closely at the video playback of their rehearsals for the upcoming multi-night American Stadium leg, Usher focused intensely on the group's rhythmic pocket, the subtle, instinctual timing that dictates how a dancer grooves between the definitive beats of a track. He immediately noted how the routine successfully marries old-school hip-hop precision with fluid, theatrical modern storytelling. The choreography avoids the trap of repetitive, formulaic loops, choosing instead to utilize highly intricate isolation patterns where the upper body maintains an incredibly relaxed, soulful sway while the lower body executes blistering, synchronized footwork. Usher explicitly pointed out that this juxtaposition is a hallmark of elite performance art, requiring a rare level of maturity to prevent the routine from looking chaotic. They aren't just hitting the steps anymore, they are interpreting the negative space in the music, Usher observed, highlighting how the 7 members utilize micro-pauses and sudden shifts in velocity to manipulate the visual tension of the performance. He was particularly drawn to a sweeping sequence designed specifically for their revolutionary 360-degree open stage configuration, where the formation seamlessly expands and contracts, ensuring that the kinetic energy radiates powerfully to every single corner of a massive stadium. For Usher, the performance displayed a masterful understanding of performance dynamics, proving that the group has transitioned from energetic pop performers into absolute masters of global stagecraft. His season critique confirmed that this new era of performance relies on a sophisticated blend of raw athleticism and deep artistic intuition, setting a staggering standard that redefines live pop entertainment on an unprecedented scale. But how will one of the most brilliant minds in contemporary musical production react when these intricate visual rhythms clash with pure sonic power? Number 7. The visual majesty, Pharrell Williams. As a visionary producer, fashion icon, and meticulous orchestrator of global pop culture, Pharrell Williams views live performance as a complete sensory ecosystem where sound, fashion, and human movement must exist in perfect harmony. Having recently collaborated with BTS on highly anticipated musical projects, Pharrell was granted an exclusive look at the definitive choreography designed for their upcoming United States Stadium tour. Watching the raw rehearsal footage, Pharrell's reaction was driven by his unique perception of rhythm as a visual medium, focusing heavily on how the group's physical movements translate into sheer cinematic energy. He immediately noted the structural arrangement of the dance, pointing out that the choreography operates like a living, breathing piece of architecture rather than a standard pop routine. Pharrell was fascinated by the contrast between high-fashion minimalism and explosive street dance geometry, observing how the 7 members manipulate the visual weight of the stage. "It looks like a beautifully orchestrated riot," Pharrell remarked, deeply impressed by a segment where the members split into distinct, overlapping syncopations that visually mimic the intricate layers of a multi-track music production. He praised their ability to convey immense emotional gravity through sharp, percussive gestures, noting that every single tilt of the head or extension of the arm is calibrated to hit exactly on the syncopated accents of the beat. Pharrell also emphasized the sheer stamina required to maintain this level of visual art across an entire stadium setlist, acknowledging that BTS is pushing the boundaries of how a musical group occupies space and commands millions of eyes simultaneously. His artistic evaluation highlighted that this tour is not merely a concert series, but a massive, boundary-pushing audio-visual installation that challenges the global music industry to think bigger. If a master of visual style and rhythm views this choreography as living architecture, what happens when an icon of pure theatrical performance steps up to judge its emotional impact? Number 6. The performance mastery, Justin Timberlake. When evaluating a complex live production, few artists analyze the stage with the meticulous precision of Justin Timberlake, a definitive pioneer of modern pop performance and intricate group choreography. Given an exclusive look at the raw rehearsal tapes detailing BTS's preparation for their unprecedented 2026 stadium tour, Timberlake focused entirely on the synchronization of weight distribution and momentum control. He noted that executing high-velocity choreography as a collective requires an exceptional understanding of physics, particularly when transitioning between sharp, isolated locks and fluid, continuous waves. Timberlake specifically highlighted a sequence where the 7 members execute a series of rapid, back-to-back formations while maintaining absolute uniform body alignment, an achievement he called a masterclass in spatial awareness. In a group performance, the hardest thing to teach is how to share the energy without crowding the frame, Timberlake observed, pointing out how seamlessly BTS handles the transition between individual solo spotlights and massive ensemble dynamics. He praised their footwork, noting that their heels barely touch the floor during rapid tempo changes, which allows them to maintain maximum agility and speed without sacrificing the cleanliness of their lines. Timberlake also admired how the group utilizes micro-rhythms, infusing subtle accents into the choreography that match the intricate hi-hat and percussion layers of the music, proving that their movement is deeply integrated with the sonic landscape rather than layered on top of it. His experienced breakdown underscored the immense physical discipline required to sustain such high-intensity movement over a multi-hour stadium setlist, validating BTS's status as absolute elite standard-bearers of live pop theater. For Timberlake, this new choreographic blueprint proves that the group has elevated their stagecraft to a level where the line between athleticism and fine art completely vanishes. As the technical brilliance of this performance continues to astound the industry's greatest showman, how will one of the most iconic voices in contemporary media react to its raw emotional delivery? Number 5. The rhythm and groove, Ciara. As a foundational icon of modern R&B choreography and a master of highly technical hip-hop footwork, Ciara evaluates live performance with an elite understanding of physical center of gravity and micro-rhythms. Having met the group during international awards circuits, she was given an exclusive look at the intricate dance mechanics prepared for BTS's upcoming United States tour. Watching the playback of their intense rehearsal sessions, Ciara immediately pinpointed their advanced weight distribution techniques, noting how the 7 members switch from sharp, heavy chest isolations to floating footwork without losing a fraction of their momentum. She focused closely on a complex breakdown sequence where the group utilizes continuous body rolls integrated with sudden, explosive freezes, a dynamic contrast that requires immense lower body control and exceptional core stamina. What stands out to me is how clean their textures are. They aren't just moving fast, they are manipulating how the air looks around them, Ciara remarked, observing their spatial staging. She highlighted that in large ensemble configurations, dancers often lose their individual groove to maintain unison, yet BTS manages to preserve their distinct performance identities while remaining completely locked in a unified grid. Ciara also expressed immense appreciation for their lower register stability, pointing out that several segments require the members to maintain a deep, grounded stance close to the stage floor while executing rapid-fire, syncopated arm patterns that match the heavy percussion of the track. Her professional assessment emphasized that the sheer physical toll of executing this level of detail across a multi-city stadium schedule requires the conditioning of world-class athletes. For Ciara, the preview solidified that this new choreographic layout is a precise masterclass in modern rhythmic delivery, demonstrating that the group's internal pocket of timing is functioning at an unprecedented industrial standard. As the technical brilliance of these configurations continues to stun the most formidable icons of the American dance community, how will an elite master of visual narrative and cinematic concept react to the sheer scale of their execution? Number 4. The cinematic narrative, Missy Elliott. As an undisputed titan of visual storytelling, structural eccentricity, and avant-garde music video choreography, Missy Elliott views performance not merely as a sequence of well-timed physical steps, but as a disruptive, multi-dimensional canvas of pure cultural innovation. Given access to a highly confidential, multi-camera rehearsal capture of BTS executing the primary title track choreography for their upcoming United States Stadium tour, Elliott approached the footage with the incredibly sharp, uncompromising eye of someone who completely revolutionized how hip-hop looks on screen. From the moment the video played, she sat forward, dissecting the framing, the unconventional geometry of the formations, and the sheer audacity of the conceptual staging. Elliott immediately identified the routine's structural brilliance, noting that it completely rejects the safe, predictable formulas of contemporary commercial pop dancing in favor of raw, syncopated theater. She was particularly captivated by a massive, asymmetrical segment where the 7 members split into independent, counter-rhythmic units, creating a visual illusion that perfectly mimics a chaotic, glitching digital matrix before snapping back into a singular, bone-crushing unison line on a heavy, unexpected downbeat. They are doing things with timing that most dancers are terrified to try because if you miss the pocket by a millisecond, the whole illusion is ruined, Elliott observed with intense focus, pointing out how the group intentionally manipulates negative space and sudden deceleration to create dramatic, heart-stopping tension. She highlighted their advanced use of facial performance and upper body isolations, explaining that BTS understands how to project immense cinematic gravity directly into a camera lens even while executing highly taxing, athletic floor work. Elliott also praised the choreography's deep, unapologetic homage to early 90s street dance textures, which are seamlessly fused with fluid, modern contemporary shapes to create an entirely new physical dialect. She emphasized that the stamina required to maintain this level of explosive, percussive energy while transitioning through complex, multi-tiered staging configurations is nothing short of extraordinary, proving that the group operates at an elite level of artistic discipline. For Missy Elliott, this preview confirmed that BTS is not just preparing a concert, but blueprinting a revolutionary visual manifesto that forces the global entertainment industry to completely rethink the artistic boundaries of stadium-scale performance art. With one of music's most radical visionaries declaring this choreography a masterclass in visual disruption, how will a legendary pop icon known for defining the golden age of synchronized performance react to its sheer scale? Number 3. The pop architecture, Britney Spears. As a defining icon of the golden era of synchronized music videos and high-stakes stadium choreography, Britney Spears possesses an instinctual, deeply seasoned understanding of how pop performance must be engineered to hold the attention of tens of thousands of people simultaneously. Granted an exclusive look at the intricate rehearsal reels detailing the structural blueprint of BTS's new routines, Spears approached the footage with a sharp focus on stage presence, physical stamina, and the spatial geometry required for major arena tours. She immediately zeroed in on how the 7 members utilized their physical lines to create massive visual impact without relying on elaborate prop pieces or excessive background distractions. Spears noted that the choreography is built on an incredibly demanding framework of continuous movement, where transitions between formations are integrated directly into the dance steps themselves rather than hidden behind blackouts or casual walks. She was particularly fascinated by a high-intensity transition during the second verse of their performance, where the group shifts from a tight, compact diamond formation into a wide, sweeping linear alignment across the stage while executing complex, syncopated footwork. The level of trust required to move that fast around each other on a massive stage is incredible, Spears remarked, emphasizing that maintaining uniform hand angles and identical torso tilts during such rapid-fire spacing changes is an immense physical feat. She also praised their lower body discipline, pointing out that the members maintain a consistently low center of gravity throughout the performance, which gives their movements a powerful, grounded weight that projects effortlessly to the back rows of a stadium. Spears highlighted the group's ability to balance intense athletic execution with precise camera awareness, noting that even during the most physically taxing sequences, their focus never wavers from the overarching narrative of the piece. Her professional analysis underscored that beneath the spectacular visual effects of a modern pop tour lies a foundation of grueling, repetitive physical conditioning that elevates BTS to the absolute pinnacle of live performance art. For Spears, this choreographic preview proved that the group has mastered the delicate balance between technical precision and raw, unfiltered stage energy, setting an uncompromising standard for the future of global pop entertainment. With a legendary pop pioneer defining this choreography as a triumph of stage endurance and spatial design, how will one of the most critical and celebrated directors of modern musical theater react to the emotional architecture of their movement? Number 2. The technical directing, Lady Gaga. As a boundary-pushing force in avant-garde performance art, a classically trained musician, and an elite stadium headliner who engineered some of the most conceptually complex tours in pop history, Lady Gaga dissects live performance through a lens of profound theatrical intentionality, physical stamina, and structural narrative. Given exclusive access to the highly classified, multi-camera technical rehearsal footage of BTS's preparation for their monumental United States stadium run, Gaga did not merely observe the movement, she thoroughly analyzed the visceral relationship between the human anatomy, the sonic frequencies, and the massive spatial volume of an open-air arena. Her evaluation began with an intense focus on the group's anatomical discipline, specifically noting how the 7 members managed to project massive, operatic emotional gravity while executing a routine that demands the precise lung capacity and cardiovascular endurance of Olympic-level athletes. Gaga explicitly pointed out a highly demanding sequence in the climax of the performance, where the choreography shifts from a brutalist, industrial hip-hop framework into an elegant, highly contemporary modern contemporary sequence that requires instantaneous changes in muscle tension. She observed that the group maintains a flawless posture and uniform spinal alignment even during rapid-fire, off-axis spins and sudden floor drops, which is an extraordinary technical feat given the varying heights and physical masses of the 7 individuals. What they are doing is not just dance, it is a profound manifestation of physical theater that uses the human body to bridge the gap between high art and stadium-scale entertainment, Gaga noted, deeply fascinated by how the choreography rejects standard pop complacency to create a genuine visual spectacle. She analyzed their micro-expressions and body language during the highly syncopated transitions, marveling at how each member retains their distinct, raw individual charisma while remaining completely subservient to the strict, geometric grid of the collective formation. Gaga also praised the sheer acoustic intelligence of the routine, highlighting how the stomps, floor slides, and sharp chest snaps are engineered to create a percussive counterpoint to the track's heavy synth production, meaning the dancers themselves are actively contributing to the live soundscape of the stadium. Her authoritative critique stripped away the superficial layers of global celebrity, defining BTS not just as icons, but as elite technical directors of their own physical medium who are systematically rewriting the rules of how pop music can be visualized on a grand, theatrical scale. With one of the world's most radical performing artists declaring this choreography a monumental triumph of physical theater and structural precision, who is the final, ultimate arbiter of American entertainment left to deliver the definitive verdict on this global phenomenon? Number 1. The definitive verdict: Michael Jackson's longtime lead choreographer and legendary director, Travis Payne. When seeking the absolute ultimate authority on synchronized pop staging, stadium-scale movement dynamics, and the precise execution of multi-member formation geometry, the final verdict must come from someone who spent years engineering the most iconic, globally recognized live performances in music history alongside the king of pop himself. Having directed some of the most complex, physically demanding world tours ever mounted, Travis Payne approached this exclusive, ultra-classified technical look at BTS's definitive choreography for their 2026 United States Stadium tour with an incredibly strict, uncompromising professional standard. Watching the high-definition multi-angle raw rehearsal footage of the group's final run-throughs, Payne did not look for superficial energy. Instead, his veteran eye immediately dissected the structural physics of their movement, the absolute uniformity of their lines, and the rare ability of 7 distinct individuals to move with a single, collective consciousness. He zeroed in completely on a blistering, highly intricate 5-minute continuous sequence where the group executes a relentless series of micro-isolations, rapid-fire syncopated footwork patterns, and massive, asymmetrical level changes that require an unparalleled level of lower body strength and core conditioning. Payne pointed out that in traditional pop staging, choreography often relies heavily on repetitive hooks or prolonged pauses to allow performers to catch their breath and deliver vocals, but this new routine rejects those safe compromises entirely, demanding that the 7 members maintain a continuous, high-velocity kinetic output that completely eliminates any dead space on the stage. He was particularly astonished by a massive, revolutionary structural formation in the tracks bridge, where the members seamlessly manipulate their spatial distance down to the exact millimeter, creating a shifting, multi-layered visual illusion that expands across the performance space before snapping back into an absolutely flawless, razor-sharp unison line on a heavy, syncopated downbeat. This is the exact level of discipline, spatial awareness, and absolute dedication to the craft that we used to demand during the preparation for the world's biggest stadium shows, Payne observed with profound respect, highlighting how the group successfully balances the raw, unfiltered emotional intensity of street dance cultures with the meticulous, mathematical precision of elite classical blocking. He explicitly noted that what sets BTS apart in this new era of live entertainment is their masterful control over physical tension and deceleration, the ability to stop an explosive, full-body motion on an absolute dime without a single micro-wobble, a technical feat that proves their muscle memory and physical conditioning operate at an elite, world-class athletic standard. Payne also praised how the choreography is intelligently engineered specifically for the vast, open-air scale of American stadiums, ensuring that every sharp hand extension, precise head tilt, and powerful torso rotation projects with immense cinematic clarity all the way to the very top rows of an 80,000-seat arena. His definitive, highly authoritative critique stripped away the standard internet hype and laid bare the grueling, historic reality of their artistic evolution, officially validating this performance not just as a standard K-pop routine, but as the absolute pinnacle of modern global stagecraft that establishes a completely unprecedented, unmatched benchmark for the future of live pop theater worldwide.